Hi, sixth graders. Welcome to week 6 of social distancing school. This is May 18th to May 26th. You have 2 assignments this week. Assignment number 1 is a book assignment. It's pages 813 and 815. What you'll notice is there's no 814. So pages 813 and 815, no 814. Assignment number 2 is an ALEKS assignment. It's a review assignment of area, volume, and surface area. It's a 12-question review. Little note at the bottom of your screen there. If you look at the answer key on the book assignment, you'll notice that I've done some answers for you in red. So I'd look at the answer key before you do the book assignment. Those are questions where they ask you to explain, and they're silly questions, so I just put the answer in for you. Before we start, today is the 40th anniversary, if you're watching this on Monday, May 18th, of Mount St. Helens eruption. And this is a story I know a lot about from teaching Washington State history. It's also my youngest memory of a historical event. I was 2 or 3, and I remember all the ash coming down. It's just a story that's captivated me my whole life. At the bottom of the screen, if you want, is a link to my favorite survivor story of this young couple that barely made it out alive. So something to read if you're interested. But I don't know if it's appropriate to wish a happy birthday to the Mount St. Helens eruption, but 40 years. And I love this photo, and that is an old Pinto, and those cars were known for exploding. So it's an ironic photo there. This week we're doing averages. You might notice this is the same slideshow for the most part that we did last Wednesday. So average is finding the center of a given data set. It's the middle set of numbers. There are 3 typical ways that we express average: mean, median, and mode. This week only we're going to focus on the mean average, and this is the most common type of average. This is the one where you add up all of the numbers in a data set and divide by how many numbers you had in that data set. So what that means is you add up all your numbers and you divide by the number of numbers. So for example, if we have a data set here with 6 numbers in it, 7, 9, 11, 4, 11, and 12, we would add all those up. We'd get 54. We'd divide that by 6, and your mean average would be 9. Again, I just take all the numbers and I add them up, and then I divide by how many numbers are in the data set, in this case 6. The book's got a couple different kind of questions for you. One of them is you just have to read the graphs. And in the past, some students have had a hard time understanding these graphs. In this pictograph, it's just showing you the number 45 shows up twice. So it's 45 plus 45, plus 47, 49, 50, and 52. But this is just 2 spots representing 2 points representing the number 45 twice. So in this case, I added them all up, and I divided by 6 because there's 6 numbers in the data set. My answer is 288 divided by 6, 48. This is the harder type of question they'll ask you. This is when the book gives you a mean average. So in this case, I'm telling you the mean of these numbers is 532, and what you're missing is a number from the data set. So if you were to add all these up, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, so if you were to add up all these numbers and divide by 6, you would get 532 as an answer. So the way you solve these is you take the mean that they give you and you times it by the number of numbers in the data set, in this case 6. 532 times 6 gives me 3,192. That's what the total had to be. So I know all these numbers added up are going to give me a total of 3,192. So you can do this a couple different ways. You can add up the numbers you have and then subtract that number from the total of 3,192, and that'll give you the missing final answer, 542. or you could take 3,192 and just subtract each one of these from it. Either way, you'll get a leftover answer of 542. So we did this practice, and this is just I'm going to fly through this. We did this practice on Wednesday, but again, if they ask you to find the mean, I would add up all these numbers. So there's 7 of them, and then I would divide by 7. Get the answer of 8. If I ask you to find the mean here, I would add up 5, and again, I'd add up 7 3 times, so this is 21 basically. I'd add up 8 twice, so 16, and then I'd add 5. And I would divide this by 6 because there's 6 numbers represented there. Final answer of 7. And this is that hard type of question, where they give you the mean average, and you have to find the missing number. The answer is 7.24, and the way you solve it again is you take the mean average and you times it by the number in the data set. In this case, there's 5 numbers. One of them's missing, but there are 5 numbers in the data set, so I took the mean times 5. And then I prefer to add up these 4 numbers, the numbers you do have. So it gave me 33.23. And then I just subtract that from the total. So it's this 40.47 minus 33.23, and I get a final answer of 7.24 is the missing number in the data set. Just to give you a preview, so next week, 526 through June 1st, we're going to make it to June next week, well, after the weekend, is a lesson on median and mode. So Wednesday's lesson, when you guys log into the Google Meet, will be on the 2 other types of averages, which are median and mode. I hope you guys have a great week. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Feel free to come to the office hours if you have any questions about your assignment for the week, and stay safe.